The disgusting truth about women at the Versailles Palace. In medieval and historic times, we often think the peasants had terrible hygiene. There's some truth to this, but less people know that not even royals were exempt from terrible hygiene. The Versailles Palace, in particular, had some disgusting hygiene practices. No toilets. Indoor plumbing didn't become commonplace until the 1800s. Not even monarchs had regular access to toilets. In Versailles, people would relieve themselves freely throughout the palace. Feces could be found in the hallways and corridors, where they were collected and disposed of once a week. Other times, people would relieve themselves outside in the garden. You can only imagine how terrible that palace must have smelt. Dumping pots out of windows. Several of us have been taught that, in medieval times, people would dump buckets full of waste out of windows. Royalty was not exempt from this. In the Versailles Palace, since there was a lack of bathrooms, women would often urinate and defecate into small pots. After these chamber pots were full, they would be dumped out of windows and into the streets and gardens. It's actually said that one time, Marie Antoinette was hit by falling waste. All of that certainly contributed to the already terrible stench. Outfits for days. At Versailles, outfit changes were rare, exceptionally rare. Women and men both thought clean clothes were more important than actually being clean. King Louis, for example, would change his shirt multiple times throughout the day, whenever it got too sweaty. Women did the same thing. Whenever their clothes became dirty, they would simply swap into a new pair. This, of course, led to horrendous body odor. They did this to flex their status and wealth. It begs the question, why didn't they bathe more often? Infectious water. During the reign of King Louis and Marie Antoinette, it was widely believed that hot baths actually caused diseases. Specifically, it was thought that by widening the pores, it was more likely for disease-causing agents to get into the body. Because of this, long hot baths were incredibly rare. It's said that King Louis only bathed twice in his entire life. Marie Antoinette, meanwhile, was a bit more hygienic. However, the queen never fully bathed. Whenever she would take a bath, she would always wear a linen cloth. She was always accompanied by someone, so she didn't want to expose herself. So far, we've covered some absolutely disgusting facts about the Versailles Palace. Although we usually imagine this French palace as posh and sophisticated, their hygiene practices were anything but. There's still far more to uncover though, so keep watching. Peeing in cups. There's a stereotype nowadays of lazy men urinating into bottles and other similar devices. However, at Versailles, women of the 18th century did the equivalent of this. The dresses that women at Versailles wore were incredibly restrictive. As such, if women needed to urinate, they would often lift up their skirts and dresses and pee into those chambers we mentioned earlier. After the deed was done, the waste would be dumped out of a window and into the surrounding courtyard. Maybe some other woman's pee is what supposedly fell onto Marie Antoinette. It would definitely be better than getting hit with solid waste. The Sun King and his perfumes. There's another stereotype in the modern day of people who don't smell good putting on mountains of perfume and cologne. This is another practice that was done back in the Palace of Versailles. Because of the terrible body odor and general odor of the palace, people naturally wanted to smell good. However, like we said, bathing was far from commonplace. So how did they make sure they smelled good? Both men and women at Versailles would absolutely douse themselves in different perfumes. According to historical accounts though, this was far from being successful. The excessive perfume would simply mix in with the other terrible smells, making the entire situation worse.